end poverty, end mass incarceration, end the endless wars. These are the demands of the American Union for the 2020 election. We're not a political party. We're not running candidates. Instead, we're unionizing voters across America to elect a combination of Republicans and Democrats behind a specific legislative package that will do these three things. You can read a summary of the Blueprint for a Better America by clicking here. As Americans, we have duties to each other. Despite that, before COVID-19, there were 38 million people living below the poverty line in America, about a third of them children. We can do better in the 21st century with universal basic income. Under the Blueprint for a Better America, everyone gets an American Union job, an unconditional $300 a week for adults, $100 a week for children. As a reminder of our duties to each other as Americans, we'll lift every single American up above the poverty line and make sure all of us have the resources to meet our basic needs. An American Union job will also come with benefits, a public option for health insurance no matter where you live or your employment status. We can end poverty if we unionize as voters. Mass incarceration is a moral stain on our nation. Over 2 million Americans, disproportionately people of color, wake up behind bars every single morning in America. We can do better in the 21st century by ending failed policies like mandatory minimums and the war on drugs, and allowing a sentence review after 10 years of incarceration. Our entire criminal justice system, from police to prisons, is in need of reform. We can end mass incarceration if we unionize as voters. For too many years, America has been at war. It's time to bring our troops home. We have over 800 foreign military bases, more than 10 times as many as the rest of the world combined. Our massive military footprint isn't good for the environment either. The U.S. military is the largest single consumer of fossil fuels on the planet. We can do better in the 21st century and improve our moral standing in the world by ending arms sales to Saudi Arabia, closing Guantanamo Bay, and ending the use of economic sanctions which kill tens of thousands of innocent civilians across the world. We can end the endless wars if we unionize as voters. Are you an American? Join the American Union, a bloc of swing voters demanding a new social contract. COVID-19 has exposed the cracks in our old one. It's time for a 21st century update, a moral revolution of values. End poverty, end mass incarceration, and end the endless wars. The American Union isn't a political party. We're not running candidates. America has a two-party system, and we all know that 99% of the winners are going to be Republicans and Democrats. We also know that their representation of the 99% leaves something to be desired. We can do better. We demand better in the 21st century. We can finally address Martin Luther King Jr.'s triple evils by declaring eternal opposition to poverty,
racism, and militarism. With this powerful commitment, we shall boldly challenge the status quo.
To challenge the status quo is to work together as Americans, despite the wedge issues that have driven us apart. One of the ways that the two parties control us is through fear, especially about guns and abortions. Each party promises the other wants to take one away. But here's the truth. A supermajority of Americans don't want to ban either. This is the grand compromise. No bans on guns or abortions. They aren't even realistic in the 21st century. We have 3D printers, and 40% of abortions are pharmaceutical. Ending poverty will address root causes of abortion and gun deaths, which are mostly suicides. We don't need bans to make America better. And to protect this compromise, any override will require a legislative supermajority. By electing Democrats and Republicans to enact this specific legislative package by the people, for the people, we can crowdsource functional government. As little as 3% of adults can form a block of swing votes that can decide the balance of power in Washington in the 2020 elections, if we unionize as voters. We can end poverty, end mass incarceration, and end the endless wars. We have the ability. Join the American Union. Pledge your vote to being part of the solution. Click here to read a summary of the Blueprint for a Better America with a link to the application for the American Union. Together we rise.